Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First things first, congratulations to the class of 2015. And thank you, Dean Roger Wang, for the invitation to speak today. It really is a great honor to be here and to be your commencement speaker. I remember my own graduation from college and law school, and I remember my mother beaming in the audience, but I don't remember what either commencement speaker said. You probably won't remember what I said either. But maybe you'll remember that I ran some large organization and resembled Dr. Phil. Today signifies the end of one period of your life and the beginning of the next. I understand the anticipation, excitement, and uncertainty you're feeling better than you might think. I'm in a period of transition as well, Sarah said. After 38 years with Deloitte, I will finish my term as Global CEO this month and join the full-time teaching faculty at Columbia Business School. And so I'm hoping we can give each other moral support today as we celebrate all that you've achieved and everything that we have to look forward to. As I'm the only obstacle between you and your diploma, let's get to it. In the short time we have together, I want to talk about three things. First, what I think is particularly special about Mendoza and Notre Dame. Second, the importance of finding purpose in business and in your careers. And third, I will offer some advice, practical advice, for finding purpose, drawing from an unlikely source. So I've been to your beautiful campus once before in 2012. I attended my first ever college football game. Now, not only did the Fighting Irish defeat Pittsburgh, they did so in triple overtime and preserved their undefeated season. But I was there then primarily for the opening of the Notre Dame Deloitte Center for Ethical Leadership. The school's clear commitment to putting ethics and integrity at the heart of the curriculum originally led us at Deloitte to help establish the center. Mendoza is one of the leading institutions on the subject of ethics in business, period. At that time, I met a number of faculty members and had an engaging discussion with students on many topics, but ethics was high on the list. The visit made me extremely proud of Mendoza and Deloitte's relationship. I have some sense of how you all must feel, given that you're going to have a lifelong affiliation with one of the most respected learning institutions in the world. You've also received a first-rate education at a school with a thorough understanding of the role of business in society. It's captured in your motto, ask more of business, ask more of yourself. So with most of you ready to enter the workplace or re-enter the workplace, I hope you can help bring a greater focus of ethics into business. That will help the business community think more about the role they can play in society and also help them discover their purpose beyond profit. I believe that business has a far greater role in society than just making money or delivering value to shareholders. And I know that students and faculty here at Mendoza share that view. Business can and should be a force for good, and not just through its corporate social responsibility programs. I'm talking about the core activities of a business, the goods it produces or the services it delivers. Business should make people's lives better. It should bring prosperity to a wider group of stakeholders, including the community. It should disrupt, it should innovate, and it should drive societal progress. It should use its resources to help address the big issues facing the environment and our communities. In the past decade, we've heard more CEOs beginning to talk in these terms. And this change says so much about the world that you're going out into. You'll be joining existing companies or building your own at a time when there's a huge demand for ethical, purposeful, and inspiring leadership. You're the next CEOs, nonprofit leaders, Silicon Valley entrepreneurs. This is your time. I encourage you to identify where your strengths and where your passions intersect with the needs of society. This is where you'll find your calling, your own personal purpose. Finding purpose in business and your career may sound like a simple concept, but it won't be necessarily easy. Like anything worth doing, it requires hard work, and so I want to offer some practical advice. I can't give you an exact formula for success, but I'll suggest where you might start. After all, no commencement speech would be complete without some advice for the graduating class. Now, I don't pretend to have the answers even after 38 years in the workforce. So, in anticipation of my remarks, I posted a blog entry on LinkedIn last month asking readers to share their advice for you, the class of 2015. This process of soliciting ideas from others used to be called brainstorming. Now it's called crowdsourcing. I crowdsourced. So I received countless contributions from professionals at many different stages in their careers and from throughout the world. They shared inspiring ideas, which included mistakes they made and lessons they learned the hard way. What really resonated with me as I read the themes was the themes that actually emerged, the common experiences that we share. Sometimes we think we must learn the hard lessons on our own without realizing that everyone around us is on the same journey. I want to highlight some themes I felt were especially relevant to you as you begin this next phase in your lives. The first is to focus on relationships, starting with those you've built right here at Notre Dame. So much of success in business is determined by the quality of relationships and the strengths of our networks. The bonds that you share with your classmates is an incredible foundation you can build upon as you pursue whatever you do next. One contributor wrote, "Stay connected to one another. You will become a powerful business network for each other for years to come." Another person implored graduates to treat every interaction as more than just a Facebook friend. You're all part of the digital generation, and while social media is an incredibly powerful tool to connect and exchange ideas, its informal nature can bring a superficial quality to these connections. Don't let it happen. The second theme of the advice is don't wait for an invitation. This is a message I've reinforced for years to graduates like yourselves and teams at Deloitte. Let's face it, there comes a time when your affairs won't be further clarified by yet another meeting. You have the ability to show others how things which are complicated and challenging can actually get done. Don't expect to be handed a great opportunity, a plum assignment, or a dream job. You must actively seek it out and make it happen. One person wrote, "It is amazing what you could accomplish if you use each opportunity as a stepping stone." Another suggested, "You must take control of your own life and career." These comments and others like them reminded me of the author Seth Godin's mantra that we should stop waiting to be picked and instead pick ourselves. He says it's our culture, our instinct to wait for the validation of being chosen. but that invitation may never come, so don't wait. Be proactive. The third theme is a need for members of this year's graduating class to innovate and shake things up as you enter the workforce. One person wrote, "Be different and think out of the box. Explore. You make an impact by doing things others are afraid to do. Take calculated risks." Another contributor wrote, "The world doesn't need more people with a resume. It needs more people who are emotionally and intellectually connected to a problem and have the stubborn attitude to do something about it." Are you wondering where to start? Well, one respondent suggested, apply yourself to solve big problems, and your career will take care of itself. Another insightful contributor wrote, there are thousands of careers that don't exist now that will be created in your lifetime. Be open to learning and exploring. We've talked a lot about the opportunities and the upsides, but what about the things that don't go as planned? We can either let our mistakes and our setbacks define us, or we can learn from them. That's the fourth theme of the advice I received. If you're not making mistakes, you're probably not trying hard enough or taking enough risks. One person wrote, always have a plan, but be aware that life won't go according to it, and that's where the adventures begin. Another said, there's opportunity to learn in every situation, especially the bad. And if all else fails, wrote a former member of the military, fix bayonets and charge forward. The fifth and final theme is perhaps the most important of all, and one that's closely aligned with Mendoza's own mission to promote ethical leadership. That is the importance of integrity and the impact that this will make on your entire career. One person reflected, if I could turn back time, I would be reliable all my life. There is nothing as satisfying as people trusting you. Another person wrote, stand up for what you believe is right and ethical, because your integrity is what matters the most in life. And yet another said, impact starts with yourself. Be authentic to who you are. I couldn't have put it better myself. I'd only add that integrity is about more than following the rules. It also comes down to exercising good judgment, which is sometimes in short supply, and I've got a good story for you about that. Just the other day, one of our HR people told me about an interview he'd had with a recently minted MBA. We are talking about a very high achiever, 4.0 grade point average, cutting-edge research, 2 board memberships, speaks 5 languages, including Chinese. Oh, and by the way, said our interviewer, finally, what kind of salary are you looking for? Well, the candidate never even blinked. Oh, I don't know, given my attainments, certainly well north of $350,000, depending on the benefits, of course. Well, at this, our interviewer perked up. So what would you say to 5 weeks vacation, 14 paid holidays, full medical and dental, company matching retirement to 50% of your salary, plus a new company car every 2 years, say BMW? Wow, said the candidate, are you kidding? And the interviewer replied, well, yeah, but you started it. In all seriousness, I want you to make the most of this next chapter in your life and make an impact along the way. The world needs people like you, people who care about making positive social impact, people who are committed to giving back, people who care about others. as you move into the business world, align yourselves with those companies who are also committed to a purpose beyond just making a profit. But above all, go out and have yourself a great life. You've earned it. Thank you.